Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Dolapo, and I am a mental health social worker working in outpatient. Sometimes I do consultation in the emergency department. Um, yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. Um, I am going to use this opportunity. I kind of lost my thought for a second. I'm using this opportunity to thank my old subscribers for still remaining to stay with me. Even though I've not been really posting much, and I'm thanking you subscriber for subscribing. I hope my videos have been insightful and helpful in your practice as well as being a social work student. Please let me know through the comments if you want any topic, if you want me to talk about any topic at all, either in social work, education, as well as practice. So thank you. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about menopause and depression. Is there a link? Is there any kind of interconnect, relationship between menopause and depression? So as you guys all know, depression appears to be very common during perimenopause. So it is common prior to menopause, and then which is the first stage of menopause. So usually before the menopause itself starts, the depression may have started first. So research has not proven any relationship between the two yet, but there's still research being done to try to find an answer to the link between menopause, perimenopause, and depression. Is there a link? So I'm going to talk about this. Sorry, I'm just looking at my iMac, my computer, for my notes, and as well as the note that I wrote about this topic. There was a 2018 review that talked about depression, that how common it is during menopausal transition. So you are transitioning from pre-menopause to menopause, and between that transition they have observed that depression is common. So the risks seem to decrease in the 2 to 4 years following someone's last period. So if you stop your menstrual period 2 to 4 years, then after that the risks tend to decrease after that, which means 2 to 4 years of you starting your menopause. Scientists are still not sure the link between depression and perimenopause, but they are aware that it is a mixture of physiological and psychological factor which may have played a role in the connection of menopause and depression. I'm gonna talk about practice. I have seen couple women in practice since I've been practicing who tends to have heightened depression during that transition. Again, they were talking about your body, how your body is built. That is how your physiology, your genetic factor, your history. If you have a depression in your family, in your genetics, right? In your family history, if your grandparents have, menopause during when they have depression during menopause, you are more likely to have it as well, based on genetics, right? So depression is a mental health concern that affects feelings, it affects how we think, and it affects how we behave. So I'm going to give an example. Depression can affect, for example, we may think about we may think down on ourselves that, oh, we are a failure. So you have a thought that you're a failure. Because if you have that thought that you're a failure, you may think that you are not smart, or you are not worthy, you are worthless, and that can affect your behavior of self-isolating yourself, or not even performing well at work, or not doing well at school because you are not doing your own work, based on that thought that you have about yourself. So that is why cognitive behavioral therapy is commonly used in therapy to use, is an approach that is used to work with clients when talking or working, they are working on themselves because of depression. So these are common symptoms of depression. It's lack of interest in doing things that you enjoy doing. For example, you like to canoe, you like to swim, you like to cook and bake, and all of a sudden you lack interest in doing the things that you enjoy doing. So that is a sign. That doesn't mean that if you have that alone, you are now depressed. So it's a combination of symptoms where they have to screen you to actually diagnose you that yes, you are depressed. So if you are feeling sadness, just crying, lack of energy, this feeling of emptiness, feeling of worthlessness, feeling of hopelessness, that there's no hope for the future, that you are helpless. Another symptoms is just being fatigued, lack of energy to do anything, to get out of bed, lack of motivation to do stuff as well, trouble remembering stuff. You are having trouble concentrating, you are having trouble making healthy decision, appetite changes, so you are eating too much, or you are not eating enough, or you are not even eating at all. So that can impact your weight. So if you are eating too much, you may have weight gain. If you are not eating enough, you may have weight loss, or you can be doing both. It can be like, there are some days when you're depressed that you're eating too much, and there are some days that you're depressed and you are not even eating enough. So it can be both. Difficulty sleeping. You are only sleeping 4 hours a night, which is not good. That is usually lower than the average of sleep we're supposed to have, which I think is 7 to 8 hours on average, or 7 to 10 hours, depending on the research study that you read or what kind of sources you have. They are going to be vary, but I do believe that 7 to 8 or 10 hours sleep is ideal. I would say 7 to 10 is ideal on a weekend when you are not working. You tend to sleep in. But then if you are now sleeping 16 hours, 20 hours in a day, that is now becoming problematic. Especially if it is affecting your activities of daily living, like you are not going to work, you are going late to work, or you are not fulfilling other duties because you are sleeping, then that is concerning. So slow movement or speech, you are not talking, you are just quiet. And so these are just common symptoms of depression. You're having suicidal thoughts, you're talking about you want to end it, or you want to end somebody, or you want to kill yourself, or you want to kill other people. That is a sign of depression, and it need medical attention. Either you are in menopause or not in menopause. Yeah. So there are different type of depressions. There's postpartum depression, there's situational depression, there's perimenopausal depression, there's substance induced depression, different kind of depression. Medical name for the common depression that often affects most people is called major depressive disorder, and it is called MDD. So major depressive disorder, it can be it can occur to people who are going through menopause, and so but like I said earlier, there's no study that have really pinpointed the relationship between menopause and depression. Why are people who are in menopause just suddenly are diagnosed of depression? So they've noticed the pattern with those specific group of population, but they are not able to link in with, is it because of menopause, or is there any other factors, right? Does menopause cause depression? Researchers are not quite sure about it, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be more research that will be done in regard to this topic. But there's also other explanation to show that there's other factors to rule out why people who are in their menopause are more likely to be depressed. So the first factors that I'm going to talk about is physiological factors. So physiological factor is just how it's something that you cannot change. It's something that's just with the body inside of you, something happening inside of you. So that we have, if you're talking about physiological factors when it comes to conversation about menopause and depression, there's no way you will not talk about estrogen and progesterone, which are the hormones that impact. If they are too high or too low, it is a problem, right? So estrogen and progesterone, they may rise and fall while they decline overall. So these hormonal changes can affect the brain chemistry, and there's also an hormone in the brain like serotonin and norepinephrine that help to manage the mood, right? So estrogen help with certain neurotransmitter in the brain, such as serotonin. Neurotransmitter is the hormone in the brain that helps to manage our mood. So if this transmitter can help to regulate mood, like I said, so when estrogen level goes down, then it will affect the neurotransmitter, so the serotonin and the norepinephrine. So yeah, so some people may, especially they are at risk for mood changes. People who have personal history of depression, people who have family history of depression, people who have postpartum depression, people who have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, so which is a different topic on its own. So yeah, what other factors may cause depression while a woman is on their in menopause? Psychosocial factors such as aging. So psychosocial and social stuff can impact menopause, and it might affect mental health as well. Some people feel that menopause and aging has a lot to do, like there's connection. Menopause and aging is a negative thing. So for example, if you are aging, people just feel like they need to be, like social life changes. Their children may have moved out, so maybe they are living alone with just their partner. There's other social things going on. Maybe they are not socializing as often as they should. So menopause and aging has been seen as a negative thing, by the society, or even by ourselves, by the media, social media. It makes people less youthful, feel less youthful or womanly, right? So they are not as when they were younger, where they are fashionable, they make their makeup, and then they go to parties, they go on dates with their partner. So I guess there's just a negative intonation to being aging generally. Menopause symptoms are also stressful, such as hot flashes, which can affect their ability to walk, their ability to manage their emotions as well. So because of that, because of aging and because of menopause and the emotional stresses that comes with menopause, they may lack social support. These women may have social support. So this feeling may affect someone's mental health. However, they may be inevitable. So what other health factors can cause depression during menopause? Other is maybe like chronic health issues such as depression, chronic depression in their midlife. Other issues such as maybe diabetics, right? They are trying to manage other chronic conditions that they have. Maybe the woman has hypertension, the woman is living alone, the woman is managing diabetics, is managing obesity. So there's other things going on health-wise that may impact that person to be at risk of having post-menopause or perimenopausal depression. Lifestyle changes, smoking, lack of physical exercise, and certain behaviors, substance use, and that means that smoking and lack of exercising can cause depression, but depression is more common in people who have this habit. So depression is common in people who have other unhealthy lifestyle. So that is why they said people who are also undergoing menopause and also experiencing depression, they are more likely to be people who have other unhealthy lifestyles, such as smoking, using substance, not exercising, and stuff like that. Surgical menopause can also contribute to menopausal or perimenopausal depression. If a person went through a surgery or a procedure for them to remove their ovary, maybe they had cancer, or maybe they had any kind of health complication that requires the treatment plan for them to survive is for them to take out their reproductive organs like ovaries, which made them to enter menopause more quickly than they had planned to be. The procedure itself may cause stress. The stress of, part of your body was taken away, and that part of your body, that part that was taken away, which is your womb or your ovaries, are the part that made you like a woman. So that may lead to mental health stress and can also be a stressor that can lead a woman, to have depression. So if you are experiencing depression while you are in your menopausal journey, I want you to know that you're not alone. There's help for you, and you don't have to suffer in pain, and you don't have to be where you want to be in terms of your health journey. You don't have to navigate that alone. I will encourage you to speak to your healthcare provider. Your healthcare provider will try to provide more resources by connecting you to community resources such as counselors, social workers, groups, people who are experiencing the same issue, so that you are not alone and you can recover. There are options for treatment. There's medication, there's complementary therapy, there is people also use herbs, natural therapy, whatever that works for them. Social support works. So for medication, doctors usually suggest what they call SSRIs, which is called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which basically means that it is working with serotonin and non-epinephrine inhibitors, that part of your brain, to help you to navigate your menopause, to help to adjust your menopause related mood changes. So this medication changes the neurotransmitters level. So for example, if the serotonin is so low, it will help to balance it, and the non-epinephrine, it will help to balance it as well. So it will help to reduce the symptoms of your depression that we spoke about earlier. Psychotherapy also work, because it will help people to identify factors that contribute to their depression, such as life events, stressful events, or negative thought patterns. So if you're having this negative thought pattern towards yourself, maybe fear of aging, fear of living alone, fear of not being womanly enough. So if you're working with a psychotherapist, they will be able to work with you and give you strategies to be able to spend your time thinking about things that are working and things that you're good at and things that are working for you, rather than they will try to, they call it cognitive distortion, where you cognitively think about things that are working well and things that you're doing well, rather than things that is not so working so well. So I'm not going to go in depth into CBT, but Yeah. So complementary therapies kind of focuses on lifestyle changes such as regular exercises, going for a walk, quitting smoking if applicable to you, weight gain control, reducing caffeine and alcohol use, because you need to know that alcohol is also a depressant. It's a depressant. So if you're using alcohol at the same time you are in menopause, there's a lot of hormone changes, which tend to affect the chemical in the brain, serotonin and norepinephrine, and there's another one which I have forgotten. So they tend to you might want to work on things that you are able to fix, that is under your control, which is that lifestyle changes, that stopping alcohol or reducing the amount, caffeine use, because caffeine use can also impact sleep, and it can, if you are not sleeping well, it can affect your mood. Practicing yoga, practicing mindfulness, as well as gratitude, focusing on your strengths, the strength that you have, rather than focusing on your failures. So it will really help to reduce stress that is being caused by negative thought patterns, and those will also help with sleep as well. Hypnosis, I don't really have enough knowledge when it comes to hypnosis, but it is identified to reduce hot flashes. Hot flashes is just one of the symptoms of menopause that women have identified to affect mental health. So hypnosis have helped to reduce symptoms of hot flashes. So make sure you seek help also from suicide prevention and stuff. So please, if you find this video helpful for you or for your clients or for your study or for your projects, please kindly just give the video a thumbs up and kindly subscribe to my video, share, like, subscribe and comment. Okay, and if you guys have any question, as usual, please email me or comment below. All right, thank you for your time and have a great day. Okay, I don't know.